Says we're live, but I'm waiting to see on
Are
here.
you recording?
Not yet. But that's something that I should do. There we go. Now I'm recording. And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. This is Mark 80 of the Super Civil Servants podcast. My name is Greg, and we have a date. We have a date. It is 48 days away, but today I consider it over. So 47 for me, third month, 18th of March, 2021. Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out. I'm excited for it. Going to talk about it tonight amongst a whole lot of other things. And with me to do that, my homeboy, Nathan. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, Greg? It's been a good day when you find out a release date of a movie you've been anticipating for years and years. It's a good day when you find out the release date of that movie.
It was so fun to be able to break that to you today because I never, ever get to break news to anybody. So it was really, really fun. Can't wait. So
I was working and I got the next picture. I got the messages from my buddy Greg here. And I was ecstatic.
Yeah.
So
because I couldn't believe whenever I told you were like, wait, he released the date. When's it come out? And I honestly didn't know that it was early this morning. I just saw it in the chat and then I realized it was very early this morning it came out.
Yeah.
So, but super excited about that, man. We're going to talk about it. Sarah's with us too. Sarah, what's going on?
Hey, fellas, can you hear me? My computer decided I want to be stupid today. So
I can hear you. What's up?
Nothing much. Same old. Different day.
Good.
Hey, I meant to ask you before we started the show. Did you watch Batwoman?
I did not.
Okay, we're going to scrap Batwoman, and what I'd recommend, because I'm the only one that watched it, and if you want to hear me talk about it, go check out DC Alliance podcast. I highly recommend that.
Well, see, that's the thing about it, because I was all about it like the first season, but I just honestly I haven't had time to get into the new one. I mean, it's craziness going on.
Makes sense.
Well, we can substitute that in with how actually impressed I was with the Superman and Lois trailer.
If you want to do that, we can actually watch the Superman and Lois trailer. We can actually.
I was highly impressed with that for CW. Like CW, I was out, and then they threw the hook out there, and I'm not back in yet, but I raised an eyebrow.
That's what I said on
noise when I looked over. So I was actually impressed with what I saw on that trailer.
Okay.
Like just the look and aesthetic of it. But we should probably get the housekeeping done before we start just jumping into stuff.
That's what I was just about to say. We're definitely going to talk about all this, but let's go ahead and get that housekeeping done and talk about the network itself. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network, where you can find shows 7 days a week. We have World's Finest True Believers, DC, Marvel, Star Wars, and Rangers Alliance podcasts. You also have Slice of Film podcasts, superhero discussions, Super Civil Servants, which you're watching right now. And then on the weekends, Weird Science, DC, and Marvel Comics. We give it to you every day of the week. So come take it,
Oh, yeah.
check it out. We you can find any of us. Check out at GUA Pod Network on Twitter, and you can find everything, or any of our personal Twitter handles. You can find anything. We also have a Patreon tier. We have a $1 tier, which is a tip jar. We appreciate everybody who contributes, and it helps us keep things going. We also have a $5 tier, which you can get ad-free and early episodes on. There's also patron exclusive episodes. Sometimes the patron exclusive episodes make it to the feed, to the public feed. Sometimes they don't. So you get that benefit of having extra shows that you wouldn't otherwise be able to hear. So I think that's about it. Oh yeah. Nathan always likes to ad supported network. That's right. I never think about that except for whenever you're with me, buddy. So ad supported network.
Ad supported network.
So there will be a couple of ads here in this episode.
Yeah, and there's don't worry, there's gonna be a Geek Ultimate Alliance OnlyFans coming soon. So what's up, guys? We're about to make lots of money. We got every way you can think of. We're out there, guys. Just find a way to touch us.
That's right.
You're out there, just reach out and touch us.
That's right. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about the first topic here, and we broke into it a little bit with Zack Snyder's Justice League news. Nathan,
you broke into it.
I broke it to you this morning, but while I tweet the show out, get it started. How excited were you whenever I got to break news to you this morning about this?
Well, I was working and I heard I was getting out of my truck and I heard my phone go off like 6 times in a row. At first, I was annoyed. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, who is it? There cannot be anything that important. And then I grabbed my stop and I got back in the truck and I looked and I was like, oh, it was that important. And like how gorgeously, and they're all devastating pictures of like rubble, but like how gorgeous do all those posters look? And I particularly like the one with the 2 film canisters on there, because that's almost just being like, yeah, bitches, the Snyder Cut, it always existed. You're about to see it. I love that. I love that.
Oh yeah, Sarah, what'd you think? You looked at the pictures, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I like the one that really got my attention was, I think it was, I don't know, it was on the feed somewhere that one had shared that it honed in on, looks like Captain America's shield and
Wonder Woman's shield.
I'll say it might be Captain America's shield, but that'd be really weird. Zach would be thinking way outside the box if he did that.
Yes.
Way outside the box.
Multiverse coming.
Anyways, it was a shield.
Yes.
God. Yes. And then Aquaman's trident. So I was just like,
At first, I didn't notice the Quindent there in that picture, and then I saw the shield, and then I looked over. And I said, I wasn't even missing anything. I was gonna breeze by it, but.
Just go.
But yeah, I didn't.
Dude, it's been those 2 weeks. I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. I mean, seriously.
What did you say it was, Greg? 40, but yeah, after today, 47 days away. So like,
I'm considering. I'm considering 47 days away because
I can't wait for we get at least one more trailer, and like the movie's got to be. It's got to be almost okay. So. We got 48 days. I know that's still quite a bit of time. Let's say he still works on it for another month. The movie's got to be like 88 to 90% done. You know what I mean? Maybe even 90. Like, it's got to be literally just putting those last couple buttons on it. Because you got to think, he's got 2 months to work on it up to the bar. I mean, not that he would, but you know what I mean? This movie, without sounding all douchey, it's like we've all waited a long time for this. So he wants to make sure it's good. Like, there's not going to be any mustache gate. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's not gonna be any
follows all of his storyboards.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like even if you don't like Zack Snyder's taste and style, but like he wants to make sure it lives up to what the fans that he does have expect.
Well, the one thing too,
I started thinking about it, and
the one thing that really stuck out to me was like seeing that was like the flag from like the death of Superman.
Yes,
because Brian has that comic, so I remember seeing that, and then I'm scrolling back through the chats just to see what I missed, and then I see that side by side. So I think that's really interesting too. So I'm just like, let's just let the maestro just release his masterpiece, and we'll just go from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there were definitely some pictures that I'm trying to download.
And then it was confirmation that it's because it only gave the one day. It didn't say starting. It didn't say first episode or anything. Like, so we're assuming this means movie, right? And like he had the movie canisters in the one picture. Like
Didn't it say that he was going to do the full movie instead of the?
Well, like I know I heard Greg and Travis talk about it, and that's what people were saying, that like he was more leaning now towards like the opportunity of like, to hell with it, let's just get my movie out. Which yes, for me, like as I said years ago, that I'd watch it in 5-minute increments and for every day for the next 2 years if that's how I had to get the movie. So giving it to me all at once, I'm totally fine. I know how to pause. I can, I'm at my own house. I can go pee and eat popcorn. If I got to go leave and come back 2 hours later, it's gonna be right there, ready to pause for me. So I'm ecstatic, but I'm pretty sure like if that's the working assumption, oh, that's so much greater because I know I can have, even if it comes out on a third, it's great. You get the whole weekend. I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, my house is gonna just explode. I mean, because Brian is like freaking out about it too. He's just like, one day I'm gonna get him on here because I'm telling you, he's got plenty to share, but he just doesn't want to do it. I'm like, dude, we have all these conversations, and he's just like, he's freaking out about it too. I mean, he'll like find, because Nathan, I've sent you all the stuff that he sent.
Yes.
He found.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
oh, that Man of Steel video, that's excellent.
Yes.
Well, look, here's the
yes.
Here's the one picture right here. So let's talk about this. I would hang this up on my wall. Honestly, if it didn't have the HBO Max and the date and stuff on the bottom of it, I would put that up as a poster on my wall. It looks so
absolutely
cool. I love it. Love it, man. Looks really, really good. This was the first one I saw this morning that in the chat that got me in. And let's see, there's another one here. Sarah, you were talking about the one that was the Death of Superman.
Yeah, the one that has the flag.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
that's the one that's got the shield and the trident. Yeah, because if you look,
I love it.
Down here, there's the shield, and then it's to the right, and then you have the trident to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, ooh.
And yeah, there's actually. Let me see if I can find the other picture here. Well, y'all just
with the thing circled on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Just point with your finger. Right there.
It's right there.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm loving this this artwork right here. Like I said, I could do any of these. Of course.
And like I said, it's so much to get, like reminiscent of the Death of Superman cover. So it's just kind of, it's like I wonder.
Well, so this comes out the 18th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a Thursday. So that means I'm gonna watch this on that Thursday. Like when I get home from work, that's how I'll spend my day until I go to until I go to bed to get out to work for Friday. And then like that means like Saturday to Sunday.
You watch it like 5 more times.
I'm gonna watch Man of Steel, BVS Ultimate Edition, and this back to back, so I can have the Superman trilogy. The Superman trilogy I was expecting. And even if it ends on a major cliffhanger and I'm like a what if, I'm still going to be happy because at least I got the full Superman trilogy about a Superman I actually care about and I appreciate. So even, you know what I mean? Even if it goes no further, I'm still going to be thrilled to death that I got to see Superman. And then he teamed up with Batman and Wonder Woman all the way to the League, even if that's how it ends. So
yes, treat my Wonder Woman the way she's meant to be treated and not some feminist, like lady lol. Just
like this one too. This is the one with the film.
This is the one I was talking about. It's almost like the it was real the whole time. You know what I mean? Like the Snyder
was, dude.
Like
it was.
I know, like look at it in Rubble, like he's uncovering it or something. I love it.
I put out the last week's show. We did a retro show, and I put out the when Snyder did his interview, and he had all the information coming out about it. We did a show on that here on Super Civil Servants, and that was the one that came out. And that was actually before it was ever announced that it was actually going to be official. And
everybody had hope.
We were all. It was.
You
it was
wanted it so bad.
Some of us were onto it. I'm telling you, some of us were on.
My world, it means hope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's see. I'm trying to open up these last ones here, but for some reason I can't get them open like I did the other ones. But anyway, we got a lot of pictures of Zack Snyder Justice League.
Sure.
I still can't believe like it's actually
You've seen the posters.
It's coming to fruition. That's just great. It's just
Well, I've already said that I'm taking the day off work. I don't know if Travis has that day off or not, but anybody who's on the network or anybody who wants to, I'm going to watch it and then I'm going to talk about it like immediately.
Are you going to do the weekend marathon? Or are you going to do the back-to-back of the Snyder Superman trilogy? Or are you just going to probably going to watch Justice League like 10 times for that weekend, right?
Oh,
just leave it playing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I have the weekend off before that Thursday. So what I may do is do a Zack Snyder like marathon Justice League.
Oh, I'm going to try. I'm just going to try to do it in succession. Because on Father's Day, the last 2 years, I've been able to watch Man of Steel and BVS back to back. Like that's been my Father's Day. Like she'll run to like her dad's or whatever, and like I've already given mine, and like her presents just kind of like leave me alone without the kids, and I'm like, oh yeah, and that's what I've been able to do. So I don't know if I'll be able to get out in one day, but I'd like to flow that in together on this one whenever it comes out. But 4 hours with the others might be a little tough. I don't care. I'm willing to see how it goes.
I'm going to find some kind of time to be able to watch this when it comes out. Even if I have to stay up, like I said, take the next day off and just stay up that night. And the moment it drops, stay up and watch it early that morning.
Oh, if I got to take up meth for a week or whatever, just to stay up to watch it, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to go,
just make those sacrifices because it's so worth it.
That's what they say about meth, right? They say it's just one time and you're good, right? You know what I mean? Like
oh, man.
They say it's not addictive or anything, right? So we're good.
That's right. I mean, your teeth don't fall out the first time.
Sure, no.
As long as you get to the third, fourth, fifth time, that's when you have a problem.
Oh, look how much money you'll save on toothbrushes. Come on.
Sure, and paste toothpaste.
Right.
Stuff gets expensive.
Holy cow.
Squirrel.
Oh, meth squirrel ran off.
But yeah, man. Is there anything? I'm trying to think about anything else about this Justice League that like.
I want that next trailer.
That's what we were talking about, the trailer.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want a trailer, man, to be honest with you.
Stop it.
I really don't. I have enough to make me excited.
Hey,
I know enough knowledge.
Close.
If they did the scene like they're talking about with the nightmare scene where they bring in Jared Leto's Joker and Harley Quinn and everything, and that was the extra.
I don't see that.
No.
Any of that.
No. We're not going to see any of that. No.
You never know, man. If they're going to put a trailer, they put Doomsday.
What if? No, that was the. This one is in Zach's hands. Like this one is under control. Like I got. Everybody learned from the Doomsday. Like that's thing in history in like the film world, you know, since like what was it, 2016 is the Doomsday trailer. Is you don't do that. So but even if it's just even if it's scenes that we saw in Justice League only color course corrected and what they were really supposed to be, or just a little extended on the sun, yeah, I'll be fine with that. I just want to see just one more piece of something to hype me up, and then maybe you can have something new at the very end, like I don't know, Cyborg blasting somebody or Flash cry, you know, just one little exclamation point on there to make you go, oh yeah, I can't wait. Or Superman, you know, just looking furious there, or something. I don't know.
I'm already there, dude. Like if you push any further, you're gonna spoil it. Just I'm telling you,
Greg.
Edged. Like there's no more that I need. No more touching, no more fondling that I need to make me.
Yes, fellas, you don't want to blow your load before you get to see it. So just calm down.
Right.
So, but man, it's exciting. You know, like I said, 48 days this morning when I woke up. Today's pretty much over. I'm considered 47 now.
Like marking it down off your calendar, like just put your little X there.
Absolutely.
Yep. Been marking it down since you know the last Justice League movie came out. Nah. Since before that, since we thought we got sold a bill of goods. Whatever, we've all been down there, guys. You know what the fuck happened.
Batman v Superman. That's like since then.
Well, okay. Well, you guys got anything else you want to say about Zack Snyder's Justice League? We're gonna get some news about it, I'm sure, in the next week or two because it's not that far away.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I mean, I've been ready, but I'm ready. Like with officially knowing that we can actually count down to an official date, like I'm super ready. Like Greg said, I can literally put it on the calendar. I can go like a little kid and tick days off if I wanted to. Not that I'm going to, but I could.
My phone automatically does that for me, so I don't have to worry about. You marked it down and count down to the day. So
Siri probably tells you like so many days to go, right?
That bitch.
All right, well, let's stay in DC for a minute then before we move on to WandaVision, and let's talk. You were just talking about the DCCW giving you something that you're excited for, and it's kind of made you raise an eyebrow. I might bring it back in. Let's watch the Superman and Lois trailer. We did this on DC Alliance podcast,
okay,
but this is a chance for other people who are on that show to talk about it and give their feelings. Sarah, you've seen the trailer, I'm assuming.
Sarah and I were not on there.
No, but you've seen the trailer. You haven't seen the trailer? Oh.
I haven't. I've because I wasn't really excited about this one. So
Sarah, neither was Greg and Travis talking about it. Made me watch the trailer, and when I watched the trailer, I said, "Okay, I see what they're talking."
Because I just really wasn't excited about him. I mean, especially Lois. We you guys know how I feel about Lois.
You're right. You're right.
You get Man of Steel vibes with this.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would say give it a chance. Watch it with Greg because I'm not saying it was the greatest thing I ever saw, but I was impressed because I had no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same way I wasn't excited. You know, same way with WandaVision too. Wasn't excited about WandaVision at all. Openly admitted it. Like doesn't seem to interesting. I'm loving that show.
I'm still upset the Arrow's off. So I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have
guys. We forgot
There's a Travis representative right there.
Guys, you forgot to mention that. We should remember that after we take our break, we're going to be doing nothing but an entire Arrow retrospective, and we're going to be talking about how Felicity should have died in season 3.
Way to get him
and on. And Diggle should have been Spartan for life, you know, and like he should have had like these big like fucking feather things on his helmet, like just because Travis Hines isn't here, so we got to get it all in, you know.
I'm gonna start blowing my phone up here in a minute. Oh, Chris is in the chat, man. Chris, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Chris.
And Chris is talking about. Sorry, man. I just opened the chat in the chat room. Looks like he's talking about Boss Logic doing those pictures.
Yeah.
You'll see what Zach did with this one. I guess we had to be in the moment then. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, no. Greg's terrible.
We're all over.
I have no skills at this, and you know, and I'm sorry.
All right, we'll check it out. Let's watch this Superman and Lois trailer. Let's talk about. Gotta talk over it. It's gonna be volume down. No, I'll try and close captions on though. So that way you can see it. And here, let me share the screen. Getting used to this. And
look at you, all technologically advanced.
Trying to be.
Yay!
All right. Tell me if y'all see it. Do y'all see the trailer?
We saw your pictures earlier, but I see nothing now.
No, I don't see the trailer.
Well, let's see. Let's try this one then. Oh, you know what? I guess I got to hit the actual share button, don't I?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There it is.
There we go.
So getting used to it. All right.
All right. Sarah, I'm curious for your thoughts.
Yes.
And I know
I'm curious for my thoughts too.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be hard with no sound, but like I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna super hype it, but go ahead, Greg.
All right. So obviously married, walking away. You hear the text here. They're losing their jobs, apparently. Going back to Kent Farm. Travis got mad because the critters are flashing. Didn't say anything about Arrow.
I heard him.
All right. So
Forgot there's 2 kids.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I want to talk about. What do y'all
That
think
was the
about
Halo guy.
That? That was the Halo. That's Master Chief.
It's
Yes, Master Chief. That's Master Chief.
I'm
Or is that what is that? What? God damn it! What's his name on GI Joe? Snake or
Eyes.
whatever.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. Yeah.
All right.
Black Noir.
Rise of the Cobra.
Yeah, Black Noir.
So here we go. That's Lana Lang right there, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And Clark talking about how he wishes he could get drunk. But just look at how beautiful that looks. I love the suit, man.
So much better. They got their cape game on point. They watch some cape porn. Looks good.
Oh man. I want to see this scene whenever he shows it to his kids too, because that'll be a really, really awesome scene. You know, it's going to be an emotional scene. I want to see freeze breath.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot who mentioned it, but I'm digging the little Superman stubble, like the 5 o'clock shadow. I think it works for the Superman. I think
Travis mentioned that. Yeah, it is pretty cool. So
I think it works.
That does look interesting.
Like
it looks
I
better
think you should
than I
listen
had
with the sound on. Too. The music's actually pretty.
Yeah,
I think you should listen. You know,
I'll watch it. I'll watch it after this. Definitely.
Right.
So I mean, that looks. That looks interesting. It might be worth keeping
it's
up with
definitely
this one.
worth it. And like I said, with that, and you know, I've just started watching Batwoman.
It feels very Smallville. You know, that whole
Did Travis say that too?
I don't know. I think
Who
me and
said
Travis
that?
both said it had Man of Steel vibes. He
maybe
may
it
have
was
said Smallville. I know I didn't say it because I haven't
still
seen
like
Smallville.
that. But Man of Steel and Smallville kind of still had that.
I think that's just a Superman vibe, to be truly honest with you. I really
Possibly.
do. I think you're going to get that with any kind of Superman. Anytime you go back to Kent Farms, you're going to get that same kind of feel, that Smallville feel, you know?
I don't know. Maybe it's just because Smallville is I knew that for so long. And that's just like the first, thing that, when I think about Clark, really, that's what I think about is Smallville. Like Man of Steel, I'm thinking more, yes, it does have Clark's story, but I just feel like that's more Superman. You know what I mean?
I think about the Family Guy's sketch of when Superman's in hell. And Peter looks over at him and he says, "She made a crack about being faster than a speeding bullet." Then I died laughing.
I didn't catch the date on the end of that trailer, but I'm sure that it had it on there.
It's coming up soon.
It is coming up soon. We got a lot of content coming up soon.
If Chris is in the chat, he knows. I know he knows.
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
I know. And Travis, if instead of just sitting there playing PlayStation and listening to us, if he'd, just jump in the chat and tell us or whatever, because we know that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
I thought if I said DCCW, it would like throw the bat signal up for him. He'd be like, Michael,
you got to do
that GIF.
I think you got to say it 3 times in the dark.
Beetlejuice style.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to kick your heels sometime too.
Deal.
No, but it does look good. It looks a lot better than I had expected.
I'm gonna actually watch the pilot. I'm actually gonna.
Well, it's a 2-hour premiere.
Oh,
hey, does anybody know? Does the CW app still work where it's like free and you can watch it next day?
If you have cable, I think you have to sign into it with your cable account. But I'm not sure
because it used to be free like years ago. Years ago when I used to watch it.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because I still technically have cable, even though I don't have my boxes hooked up. I have them for weeks. I need to go take my boxes back and stop paying for it. But I still have the cable account, so I can log into CW with the cable account. But I'm not sure if it's what the deal is with that. Try.
Yeah. I might want to try to watch real time, instead of going back and watching the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to at least check the the pilot or the 2 hour. Yeah, I want to check it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching that.
It looks good
as soon as it comes out. Yeah, like I said, it definitely doesn't feel like a DCCW show. It feels more like a movie. And I was talking to Travis about it. We don't know if it's gonna be like an hour and a half of film, and then of course the commercials in there, which makes it more like actually like an hour and 10 minutes. And then you have the they were gonna have a special afterwards, like an inside look at how it was made, or if it was gonna be 2 hours of this
actual content
show,
the actual show.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. I guess I wouldn't mind if they did like a special afterwards. I think I'd rather just see a really good 2 hours of show, unless they have to put filler in there. Like I don't want to see wasted time. which you never want to see, I suppose. So give me a good hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, and then a special afterwards, or give me a good hour and a half of, awesome pilot or story show or beginning for this character, and I'm down.
Well, the show's already got one thing going against it. It's got that hack David Ramsey coming back as John Diggle at some point throughout the season. So,
you are trying your best to get Travis on.
There's a strike against the whole series overall, just right there. Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna call me in just a second. Like, what the hell's Nathan talking about?
No, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try to watch it. Maybe not like live, but the next day if the CW app or wherever it comes out, if I can watch it on there still or whatever I got to do, I'm gonna hunt it down and watch the first episode.
It will be watched.
Yes, absolutely.
It will be watched.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get off the DC train and we'll hop on to start talking about a Marvel show. Before we do, let's go ahead and take the first ad break. Anybody watching live, you get to see how the sausage is made. Everybody else, we'll be right back. All right. And we're back just that quickly. So not new, I guess. Actually, yeah, you can still consider it new because it's only even a month old. WandaVision's out now. Enjoying talking about it. We did not get a chance to talk about the third episode. So if y'all want to, we can talk about the third and fourth episode because I've got notes about both of them because I actually watched both of them today. I didn't watch the third episode last week.
Yeah, I've been watching them like every Friday. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like wait till everybody gets, after dinner, sit down and watch it. We've got sucked into it. I mean, but this one now is starting to turn into what I had envisioned it to be. Now I have enjoyed like the sitcom. Shush. I have enjoyed the sitcom, the sitcom part of it because I think I just think it's just adorable. But it's crazy. I mean, it's like, I really, really love this last episode though. Oh my gosh, I really loved it. I was just like,
this newest episode, not that I didn't like it before, this newest episode gave it a new twist to it that really, really makes, which I knew was coming, but it really,
but now it's turning into what you figured it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so cool about it. So now you're trying to now you want to get down to like the meat of it because you see the cuteness, but I really liked in the previous episode where everything was kind of starting to not really unravel, but it was like the reality started to kind of kick in a little bit. Mm-hmm. So you're sitting there like, what is it? Well, I mean, considering the fact having, how long was her pregnancy? What, like an hour?
12 hours.
It wasn't long.
12 hours.
I mean, yes. So I'm just like, okay, well, we know that's not real, but,
right.
But it was just kind of crazy because you saw all these little bits and pieces peppered in, especially, with the guy coming out of the, like the beekeeper coming out of the manhole, and you're just like, okay, that's just like totally random. Mm-hmm. And then with the helicopter and like the radio and all this, and, just all this little bits and pieces, because you're just thinking at what point is real, because obviously it's not real. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously. So you're just wondering, like, at what point is everything going to start kind of like the threads starting to unravel? Yeah. So that's what was so cool about this one. And it's just like, because like last episode when her name Geraldine, when she said Ultron, we're just like, did I hear that? Did she say? Because we had to like rewind it. It's like, did she say that? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the same Wanda's like reaction, like, what did you say? So yeah.
Well,
I just think it's cool.
Yeah, it really is. And it makes it interesting because this, up until now, like for the most part, this feels like Marvel MCU characters, but nothing to do with the MCU universe. Just like a parody. And I get it. That's kind of what they were going for. But they did a good job of it because I was starting to wonder. I was like, I hope they don't carry this on too much longer without starting to explain things. And episode 4, they really did. It was a really, really good time.
And I loved all the characters they introduced too, because you're like, oh, that's.
Yep. I wanted to ask, do y'all know why they are like switching generations? Like, why was it 50s and 60s and 70s? Like, is there a reason for that, or do we know? I'm sure there's probably a reason for it, but do you have any ideas, or have we heard anything that I've missed?
I don't think it was ever given a reason. Now I know. What's her name? She asked the same thing. It's not Kat.
Darcy.
Yes, Darcy.
The working
she
theory,
asked the same thing too.
The working theory is that most foreign people learn about American life from TV, from sitcoms and stuff.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
her and her brother were born in Sokovia in the poorest, like there were wars and shit going on. And she saw the perfect life in probably 50s, 60s, and 70s era sitcoms. That's just a
Makes
working
sense.
theory. In my head, it makes total sense.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
does make sense. Yeah.
But I want to just say that, as I said, the first 3 episodes I could live without them. And as I text Travis, like, this is how you start phase 4. And when I do a rewatch, I will start from episode 4 because the other 3 you don't need them. Literally, this episode gives you everything you need. It recaps the episodes you've already seen that you get to look through the screen at it from a different angle, except it takes out all the wacky zany jokes. Like, I mean, you basically get all your information. And like I said, I don't.
That
This
is
like
true.
the third episode. The third episode was all right. Those first 2 were hot garbage in my opinion. There was no need for it. Like, I get it. Like,
I disagree.
I don't feel like it was, and like I get what they're overall going for, and this is just me. But I know when I do the rewatch of it, I'll start from episode 4 because it's just like I said, it made sense. This felt like the MCU. This felt like the start of phase 4 to me. I even text Travis. I said, "Now that's how you start phase 4."
Well, I
Because
did
it
like
just-
the first 2 because I thought it was interesting just to see the relationship between Wanda and Vision. It was just kind of, because think about how, the last time you saw them, it's kind of like this little utopia
Well, what was
for
that?
them.
I would have.
It's just fun.
No, I see it, and I get it's just fun for the sake of being fun, and sure.
But it was still cute because it was almost like,
and cute, sure.
like Bewitched, where it's just like, okay, I can do
Right.
like these cute little things, but it's still, it's a way, I think it's an interesting starting point than going straight for like episode 4.
Right, and
Like
I
a little
totally get it, 'cause,
build-up.
like my mom loved I Dream of Jeannie and I Love Lucy and stuff. So like I grew up with those reruns. Like I have fond memories and stuff of that. I don't know why I don't need Wanda and Vision recreating their own version of that that's supposed to tie in to where literally the whole episode is just a bunch of yucks and jokes. Now I know there are little things here and there.
It's
And that's
cute.
fine.
It's something different.
Sure. That's fine. I don't have that. For me, I'm gonna start from episode 4 on because this is the one where you go.
I did like
now
3
I'm
though,
interested.
because 3
Like,
started like kicking into it a little bit though.
Monica coming in there and like getting her backstory, seeing her. This is our first appearance of people coming back from the snap. We actually saw them reconfigure back into
That
people.
was pretty cool. Yeah.
That was cool, and like
Yes.
with the chaos, like that was so. Like this, that's what I'm saying. This is the start of phase 4 for me, and like the way that happened, I was really invested in her character because like. Man, she thought her mom was right there because you know what I mean. That I took a nap for 20 minutes. Now we know what the people that were gone felt like. You know what I mean? And like just her dialogue, I really liked Monica's character and that actress who's playing her, Jimmy Woo. He was always one of my favorite characters in like the little limited Marvel that I've read. Yeah, that I've read, and like the Marvels that are somebody's heroes and shit. The Avengers, like I loved you on there with the few small times I've seen it, and an Ant-Man. But I like the more building on that. And Darcy, I didn't know why she was going to be here. But I ended up really liking Darcy, just her little smart ass stuff. The way she
character's changed a little bit, don't you think? She's a little less.
She's a little more confident now.
Maybe
she's not Jane. She's not Jane's understudy. She's a full-on doctor because she corrected that one guy.
And she's an
astrophysicist.
Right. Oh, yeah. I wanted to point out too an importance of the 3rd episode, Nathan. I know you said that was the one of the 4 that you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
That one sets you up for them rewatching in the 4th episode where they realize it cuts out that somebody's editing. Because you see those moments. You see those moments where it either cuts out for us or you saw it replayed. And you were like, "Wait, it didn't happen like that. They cut this part out." You see that as the audience. That's why it's there.
I knew Wanda was doing that. I knew my TV wasn't glitchy. Well, what I'm saying, I've already seen those. And I get it, and they literally recap all of that in the show. They literally recap it, and she just goes, "I don't need that. I already know what happens." Okay, Wanda.
Well, maybe that's for the folks sitting in the back that won't pay attention.
No, I said for me. I said for me. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna start at episode 4 because she tells you, and at the very end, you see her rewriting reality because she's mad about it. I don't need to see any of that other garbage. I can go from right on to here on and go out. They literally recapped all the important parts, even down to the drone that came in there. Because I told people, I can't remember if I mentioned it on or off the air, but that I thought that was a drone that come through there, and it just changed into old timey times. And I heard people being like, "It could be pin particles," and Monica shrunk down and flew. What the fuck? My God,
Ant-Man's gonna pop out.
We're making this more difficult than it's all feasible for this universe. I'm not like it's a crazy idea, but like, come on, guys, like sometimes the simplest answer is the one we're going with. So but like I don't know. Like I said, I don't need any of that other stuff. They recap out, but this episode was excellent, and I do love that we know that like Wanda's control. Like when she sees Vision with his fucking forehead ripped out, I was like, oh man,
that got me. That got me.
Yeah,
it's like, starting to unravel. It's
kind
like
of creepy.
Greg, I've never read it before, but I started this today for the first time. Oh,
buddy, hey, when you get done with that,
I think you are right that they're gonna go a little reverse. They're gonna instead of her snapping and making no more mutants, she's gonna snap. She's got a reality. She's gonna snap and break the walls down. I think they're gonna use this to create her own the MCU version of how. And I know they already kind of started, but I think they're gonna use loosely based their own version of how. Kind of how like
they have like how they use Civil War
season Flashpoint, or Civil War, something where it's the basic concept and do it their own way. But I think that's what we're getting here is like their version, the cinematic universe's version of. I think you're on to something. I don't want to give you credit just yet. We got to see where we're going, but I think you're on to something. And we've been I've been shitting on it for the whole time, and I'm gonna be the first one here to say, Greg, I apologize. You were right, or it looks like you were right. So I
good thing you're recording this, Greg.
I will just throw over here
it's live, baby.
Yeah. So, and I did, like I said, I picked it up, and I'm only to the newspaper part thing or whatever, where they make that pulse thing, and then we had to come in and record because I literally picked it up right before we started recording, and I got like, oh.
Let me know what you think when you get done, and then after you get done reading it, go check out The World's Finest True Believers. Me and Chris did on it, and tell me what your thoughts about that.
That's why I skipped that episode because I actually had the book and I wanted to read it.
Yeah, and honestly, my theory is that like they didn't have any idea what they were going to do, and then me and Chris recorded that World's Finest True Believers episode with covering House of M, and they heard that, Boggy heard that, and he was like, "Oh, this guy's onto something." And I feel like I kind of secretly snuck him that idea, and they're making their way with it.
I'm telling you guys, it's like they're listening to y'all because they should like figure everything out. So I mean, it's like crazy.
Wasn't it you that agreed with me, Greg, that I said it almost seemed like Wanda was controlling the town? There was somebody when we had that first episode show. Was it you that agreed? Somebody agreed with me that I said I think the town's to be taken over. Like I think she took over a town, not that she made people up. You know what I mean? I think because they said who's playing the cast. You know what I'm saying? When they were identity, but because like I said, whenever they're at the table and the doctor and his wife, and he's choking where she's saying stop this or stop it. She's looking right at Wanda. And if you remember, I said it on there. I said it looked like because Wanda was losing control, like that woman was telling her to stop it, like because Wanda was doing it. You know what I mean? And all that's validated.
Well, I have questions about it which I'm sure will be answered in the future. Like I have a feeling that Wanda is controlling what's going on to a certain extent, but I feel like there's somebody else who's a producer. We've seen somebody sitting behind a desk watching the video. We haven't seen that face yet. They wouldn't put that scene in there for nothing. Somebody watch. I think he's the producer. He's the one who's cut editing stuff out for the show that was out there. Because they even mentioned something about a producer in this episode, in the 4th episode. And I was like, okay, so that could be somebody different than Wanda. So I don't know how they would do that. They're much smarter than me, other than the House of M stuff. They're much smarter than me. So we'll see what happens.
Personally, I think that it's Wanda doing all of it because her power is so strong that because it's in the moment. When something happens like that, it's like she catches it. Because it looked like in this episode, it looked like when she cornered Monica, you know what I mean? It was like her subconscious took over. Like it was almost like she had a realization that I don't know. It almost looked like there was two sides where like a part of her, like the real her woke up that's creating this universe. And then she got all scary Wanda and stuff. Like I think that she's like this. It's all her doing. She wanted to do it, but I know the rumors have been Mephisto or the Devil or Grim Reaper or whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? Almost like prodding at her or preying on her evil. You know what I mean? Like the fan in the flames, if you will. Like I think she is doing it. She's the bad guy, but it's not all her doing. She's like I said, someone's fan in the flames. One of those bigger people to make her. There's an ulterior motive from an ulterior source.
Well, it definitely makes me feel like, what was I gonna say? I had Wanda's thing right there. The last thing you said made me forget about my thought. No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. Sarah, give me some thoughts while I try to remember what I was gonna say. I remember I was going to start it, but I can't remember what I was going to say.
You got it, Greg. Come on,
great
you got
broadcasting right there.
I just think it's really neat because it's like the beginning, the end of the very first episode. Like before the credits, you saw like the TV with somebody there. So then that gives you the idea. You're like, what is going on? But then it's like now with this fourth episode, you do see behind the curtain. You do see what's really going on. So I don't know. It's like one of those things. It's like I don't want to dissect it too much because I just want to enjoy it. But then again, I'm just like, what else are you guys going to, who else is going to be in it? Who else are they going to throw in there? You've got Wu. I'm like, is Scott going to show up? I'm like, I would die if he did.
Benedict Cumberbatch is the secret one that Paul Bettany was talking about that's coming in. With the scope and the way that we're seeing things unfold in just this episode, it's Doctor Strange himself will have to come and take it. Because you look how strong she was with that, and like the look on her face and I know like she didn't even really have to exert that much power to knock that out, but she's taking over a town, altering people's memories, even altering family members' memories to where they'd be like, oh, that person doesn't exist. You know what I mean? If we believe what Wu was saying, so like.
Yeah, that was weird with those cops. Yeah,
Strange is gonna have to come in and deal with this personally.
Yeah,
that's my
the cosmic. What she call it? The cosmic radiation or whatever. I'm just like, oh, cosmic.
I remember what I wanted to say now.
Say there,
Nathan. You were talking about Wanda being in charge, and I think that she is in charge of this whole thing because Vision even talked about leaving this time, and I think Vision's dead. He's obviously in this world a figment of her imagination, which is why she doesn't want to leave.
Just like the children,
right? Which is just the reason why she doesn't want to leave, because she can't leave this.
And why he has the Mind Stone.
Yes. So, and when you got to see Vision without the stone in his head, which, like I said, looked really creepy.
Like zombie Vision. Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean. We'll probably see him again like that at some point in time because I think that's one of the visions that's going to be snapping her into back into reality. So let's see. We already talked about Darcy. I
told Jamie, my wife, I said, I'm just waiting for Thor to bust out of someone and go, Darcy. You know what I mean? Just in his way, like he does.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to see her though. I don't know why. I was just like, I don't know. That was
I didn't know. I'm
glad they incorporated her. I'm glad they incorporated her in something else. I like cross pollination, even from these little tertiary characters and C and D level characters, B level, whatever. I just like seeing them
because that world that time is still going on. So I mean, it didn't necessarily end, with the movies. Now it's like you're going. It's kind of like the way S.H.I.E.L.D. was. It's like, it was still going on. This was still in that timeline and we're at time. And it's now you're kind of seeing what happened after the fact, and it's just a continuation in essence.
Yes. I will give Elizabeth Olsen credit where credit is due. Her acting range in just these 4 episodes alone is spectacular and proves that she is definitely good at what she does, and she deserves to be in Hollywood because anywhere from comedic to all that, but especially this episode where we got to actually see what happened to Geraldine, Monica Rambeau, and how Wanda, she's all happy and she hears Ultron and just flips that switch, and you can even see it in her eyes. You can even see the whoa, you fucked up. You know what I mean? And she's just going there, and the way she's talking, and it's precise and it's slow, and she knows exactly what she Good job, Elizabeth Olsen. You made a good range of acting ability.
It's almost like that switch flipped when she mentioned her brother's name, because when she was looking at the babies, and then when she mentioned her brother, because right after that is when Monica mentioned Ultron.
She said, "I used to have a brother, right? Yeah, I used to have a brother.
He was killed by Ultron."
She said he was killed, and then Monica Rambeau, or Joe, she goes, he was killed, but I see what Sarah's saying. It was almost like as soon as she said that, but he was killed, it kind of jarred, and then Rambeau had enough of herself come through by Ultron, and that's what really shook things up.
So is that what it is? That's the same thing with his neighbor that was cutting through the brick wall with the hedge trimmer. They're snapping. I guess is Wanda losing her control, and then they kind of snap into their.
That's been my impression since we saw the doctor and his wife come over, or the ball, or whatever it was, and
Yeah,
you
the
saw
boss,
that because like my first impression when she was looking at her, when things got tense like that, and when Jimmy Woo was trying to beat through, like things got crazy, and then like she rewound it and snapped it back. You know what I mean? When like he was coming through the radio and stuff, and and when the guy come through and the no, and she just fucking backed it up or whatever. Like I just, when she loses control, when she was having contractions, like the magic everywhere was going everywhere.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Okay, so that kind of answers a little bit, I guess, of why Geraldine, why she knew the world wrong, because that was a question I had for you. Talk to me about Sword, because we didn't. This is being introduced in this series.
They changed
right?
the name of it.
Yeah,
the meaning of it.
Look,
what did it say?
Travis is talking shit in the
What did he say?
He knows I'm smirking because I've one in every 9 times I play Travis, I beat him. Yeah, and it happens to be, the last time was the time that I beat him, so he knows that I'm smirking about that. But it's okay. He'll beat me the next 9, so don't get twisted. I'm not talking trash. He'll beat the crap out of the next 9. But Travis in the chat room, come on the show, man. We're about to talk about some Godzilla here in just a minute. We're going to talk about some
how trash David Ramsey is and Stephen Amell and.
Now I might have to fight you about that now. If you talk too much smash about Stephen Amell now. He's off
Travis,
limits.
He wants me to read the first message. He says, Greg sucks. You guys both rock.
Right. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
This sounds like the C3 show now. Yeah, man. So sorry, you were saying they changed the name of this. What's like? Where do you see Sword going forward? Is it going to be a huge player in the game?
Well, I had to look it up because when I read it, what did it say? Like the something weapon. What was the name of it?
Weapon observation.
Strategic weapon. Something.
In the comics, it's world. It's like world protection or some shit. Like not protect, but whatever the hell it stands for. But they did change it from world to weapon for the series or whatever. I guess to accommodate it a little more. And it almost seems like Sword was also a separate entity, and like they're kind of almost being like, oh yeah, this was going at the same time. The Shield, like guys, like don't worry about it. Like we were going at the same time. That's kind of the impression I got. Like it's another thing that's been going the whole time that we just didn't know about until just now.
Yeah. All right, try to give the chat room here. Travis says he'll come on after Godzilla. It's like, all right, Godzilla's the last topic. So.
Oh my God, he just refuses to watch movies. Like he hates us. He's like, you know what? Watching movies, F these guys. I ain't watching nothing. If it doesn't have a goddamn hockey stick, I ain't watching it.
Or if it's not animated. Maple syrup.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about Wandavision here. We don't have a whole ton to go with. Oh, what do you talk about the commercials? I know we talked about that with the first one, but I only saw one commercial that kind of caught my attention, and that was he says he watched the movie Trash. Was Cranston too. I watched the movie with or not the movie, the commercials with the soap, and I saw the blue box soap, and it had the Hydra symbols in the back of it. Other than that, there wasn't another commercial that really stood out for me in these 2 episodes, these last 2 weeks. Was there anything for y'all?
Well, the last 2 episodes they had were like Hydra themed.
Yeah, they always seem to be, which I'm not sure how that's tying into this either. Have we seen anything Hydra?
No, but Strucker got a name check. And what was it, episode 2 commercial or episode 1?
Okay.
But that makes sense because Strucker and Hydra created her and her brother. They unlocked her, the quote miracle, which we're going to find out was the mutant gene. But Strucker, who was Team Hydra all the way, and that they were nerds. Yeah, that makes total sense. Fits right in.
Okay, I guess so. Like I said, I enjoy Marvel stuff, but my knowledge is not as,
They were found by Hydra. Her and her brother were found by Hydra, and
I remember that
for the experiments and all that other shit. So she knows very well about them.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was interesting whenever you get to see. We were talking about before. We had the moment where they were snapped back. You saw people kind of like coming back, and you saw real time what that would be like, and it goes to a hospital. Could you imagine how crazy that would be in a hospital? And then you get to see the perspective of somebody who's been gone and lost somebody they loved while they were gone, not even knowing it. Like she thought she was asleep there for like 20 minutes, which is crazy. Could you imagine waking up to that?
My thing is, looks like they're about to walk through somebody as they were coming back together. I was just like, what would happen if that? Because when that guy came together and she smacked into him, I'm like,
yeah.
She's like, what if she'd have walked by as he was still dusted back together, and she'd been like, oh, I got some gym.
But that's what I'm saying. I was like, oh my god,
just kept walking, and then the guy just got like a chunk out of his arm, like, oh god.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's just kind of weird. I mean,
the wind blows really hard in a piece of like your whole arm just blows away. God damn it.
Well, okay, so her mom, the one who died, that you get the backstory on, she's the one who founded Sword or created Sword, right?
She was Captain Marvel's friend in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's Monica. That's Monica's mom. Was what was her name?
I don't know her name. I know you're talking about. Okay.
What's her goddamn name? What was her? They even said it on the board. I know right now Travis or Brent's listening. They're screaming right now, or Chris, but I can't. But yeah, it's Carol's old best friend's daughter is who Monica is.
Okay. Do you just know that from reading up on it, or was there some kind of clue that gave us that?
I know that because I listen to Marvel Alliance, your counterpart, and they talk about this stuff quite frequently. And I listen to other shows, so I just hear stuff through osmosis. So actually listening to stuff.
I got you. Yeah, got to do that to be able to find stuff.
Maria Rambeau.
Maria, thank you, Maria.
I guess the name could have been. I thought the name sounded familiar, but I wasn't sure.
And then Monica was her daughter because she was like 11 in that movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Interesting writing. Good job. I like that. That's a nice connection. Awesome. But yeah, that makes me feel like I guess Monica is going to be. Yeah, Monica is going to be a bigger part of Phase 4 going forward. Do you think we'll ever see her in a movie?
She's already confirmed for Captain Marvel 2.
Okay.
So yes, I do think so.
That would be a yes.
Okay, there you go. See, you're breaking news to me today too.
Sure.
Like I said.
And if Chris is listening right now, he's just putting his head in his hands, going, Greg,
I know, because they probably talked about a Marvel Alliance. I don't get a chance to listen to every episode.
Snail right now is just cracking up, being like, God damn it, Greg. Just like a goldfish. You tell Greg something, and 45 seconds later, he's forgotten all about it.
That can be a good thing sometimes.
You just keep surprising yourself.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, cool. Well, let's get off WandaVision, then let's get on to our monsters. Before we do that, we'll take one last little break here. I can get my pen.
Are we making drum sounds now? Or?
I like to make odd noises, thump it. But all right, let's take a real quick break, folks. Once again, we'll be right back at Sport Network. This helps keep things going, and we'll be right back to talk about some monsters. All right, and we went to our last break here. And folks, try to find stuff on here that's not Marvel and DC and Star Wars or as much of it, so that we're not stepping on so many toes by the shows, and we don't want to double cover stuff on the network. But sometimes we got to, because it gives a chance to have other people talk about that kind of stuff. Great thing about this show is we have the opportunity to step outside that realm and do other stuff too. Godzilla versus King Kong is coming out 4 weeks from now, I think, somewhere in that vicinity. We've got 3 movies that came out before it, leading up to it. Is it March? I thought it was in February.
I think it's March.
You could be
I think it's
right.
the beginning of the month. I think we'll get to have a little monster throwdown and then some league. I think it's all in the same month.
Well, that means Mighty Duck's going to come out the same month too, and that's just not going to work.
Oh, I didn't watch that. Was that a real thing? I saw that on YouTube. Is that
It's
the
a
real
television
trailer
show,
for that, with Emilio back in it? Coach Bombay's back?
We're going to see.
Coach Bombay? Come on, man. Oh, speaking of which, hey, wait. While we're on Mighty Ducks, let's before we put a pin in it, let's go back.
March 31st.
Okay, I just like to shout out the guy who played Goldberg, because he's a year sober now and he actually looks like Goldberg again, because my God, look those pictures up of his worst when he was on all methed out stuff, looking like a skeleton and shit. Oh, that was bad. But he's been 1 year sober now, and he's looking good and healthy, living in a sober house. I just figure everybody knows that he was a terrible, that he's never going to escape that meth picture, which is going to haunt him for the rest of his life. So we're going to talk about him. Let's at least bring the good up to, hey, guys, working on turning his life around. And you know what I mean? So basically what I'm saying, season 2, keep your nose clean, kid. Maybe you got a cameo appearance or something in there. I don't know.
Maybe.
It was all relevant, goddammit. I didn't just bring it out of the blue. You talked about Mighty Ducks, so all right.
Hey.
Let's go. Shift gears, back in.
Yeah. off that squirrel. Here we go. So we're talking about
Right.
Godzilla now. So yeah, we're gonna have Godzilla versus King Kong come out pretty soon.
March 31st.
March 31st.
March
Very
31st.
good.
Thank you,
Sarah.
Believe you, because my
You're a
crowd.
very good Googler. Like your Google finger works real good.
No, because I should have it embedded in my brain because that's all that my husband has been talking about for like the past.
Yeah.
Because he and my son they love Godzilla, King Kong, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
Yes.
start
They
us
love
out
it.
with that then. So y'all are huge monster fans here, monster
We
universe
gotta get your
fans.
husband on. He's just gotta come on one day.
Yeah,
Just
seriously.
talk
I'm
with
just
us.
gonna trick him. I guess I'm just gonna trick
Yeah.
him. Be like, look, here you go.
Yeah.
Zoom meeting for work. We need you. Come on. But no, so go ahead and start us off then. You love Godzilla, King Kong. I don't love it, but you know they're cool
I like
movies. I don't
Godzilla
mind
more
seeing
so
them.
than Kong, though. I will
Okay.
say that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Sarah doesn't want to be taking up no tower, no building shit being held in the
no. Give me a lizard. Give me a mean ass looking lizard any day. He's all like,
Fire,
Yeah.
blue fire.
Yeah.
and that's what I told my son too, because I said, you know, especially when Godzilla shoots out the plasma, I said, see, that's me when I'm ill at you and you're not listening. That's what happens. You know. So he's like, oh yeah, I know. But what's so funny is I did not realize that we had that DVD, or actually the Blu-ray. So I had already rented it for like $4. Brian comes home, he's like, oh yeah, we got this. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? He's like,
Did you just miss it, or did you even look?
I don't even think I looked because
Yeah.
it was something he and Gage are watching. He's like, yeah, me and Gage, we watched it, you know, a few months ago. I'm like, oh. I'm like, where was I?
I'm
Probably
honestly
here.
gonna
I
go
don't know.
I'm gonna go check my DVDs when we get done. I may have it too, but I didn't pay for it. I got it on Hulu, so.
Are you?
Well, I mean, it was like $4, so I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really care. I mean, it was, you know.
Are you a monster guy, Greg? Because I did notice something about this trailer that struck me immediately, and I already drew attention to it. It's like, oh, I was joking with Sarah.
I mean,
Fucking
yeah,
Kong got a size upgrade. This guy's carrying women up towers and stuff, and we saw Godzilla smashing buildings as tall as Kong. Like, what happened? Did you see how big that dude is?
nah.
Motherfucking monstrous. He ain't climbing no into Empire State Building. That thing, he gonna put his
He is
finger on
the
it, just
tallest
crushed.
Empire
It's
State
just crushed.
Building. He's just like,
He got a boot. He got an upgrade.
You said Godzilla got an upgrade?
No, Kong.
Kong got an upgrade.
Kong.
Okay, I
well,
was
yeah,
about to say,
because have you
Kong.
seen the trailers for the new one?
You know what? We're
They're
gonna watch that
like-
trailer here in a minute. Yeah.
They're
That's what
like
I'm talking about.
this.
That's what I'm talking about. Godzilla and Kong. That's what I mean for the trailer where
Well,
they're fighting. Like he got an upgrade.
Do it.
Most of the time, King Kong can climb the Empire State Building with a girl in his hand. He
Well,
ain't
you
climbing
gotta
shit
admit,
now. He's
Skull
as tall as
Island-
that thing and crushing it.
Kong
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Skull
yeah, yeah.
Island, that was,
Oh, I love
it
Skull
was
Island.
pretty freaking
Love Skull
massive.
Island.
You know what?
Yeah.
I got to be truly honest with you. The watching this Godzilla movie right here was my first venture into the new versions of these movies. Haven't seen any of them yet. Haven't seen Skull Island. Haven't seen this
King of the
Godzilla movie
Monsters
just
is good. I
watched.
like that one.
And I watched
like
King of the
that one.
Monsters. Nothing.
Mhm.
I know we're going to talk about it in a minute, but the 2014 version is the weakest entry into the monster universe so far. And I know like Travis was shitting on it stuff. He said it's garbage. I think it's got some good parts in it, but it definitely could use some fat trimmed and some more monster bro downs. But you know, whatever. We'll get there.
Okay, maybe it's a good thing Brian's not on here because he loves that one. He's
I like it too. I like it too. People.
I love
people around
Godzilla,
told
but you
me-
first see him and he's just, I mean, he's got this mean look on his face.
People
like,
around
He
me
does.
tell me
y'all
that
want
it's
me up
terrible.
for this? I'm about to take y'all to hell out.
Okay, so can I tell you, I enjoyed this movie as a first time viewing it. Really liked it. You know, kept me with the whole, oh, I wonder what happens next. Got to keep watching. I wasn't bored really at any point in time. One thing that bothered me, it's a Godzilla
Twins,
movie.
twins making out.
N-
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver all over each other.
I marked it down. I marked it down. You didn't see Godzilla till 59 minutes, 30
Yes.
seconds in the movie.
Yes.
It's
Well,
a
there was a lot of
2
build
hour
up.
movie. It's a
Well,
2 hour
There was like a
movie.
story build up.
You
Yeah.
saw some stuff and some things.
You
I mean, they
saw
edged
some
it.
fins
They
in the
edged it.
water.
Every once in a while they touch it and then they waited. And, you know,
And
that
then-
was it.
And then the other thing was most of the time, except for the last 15 minutes of the movie, you don't really see any of the monsters very much at all. You see very quick glimpses of them. You see them walking at a distance. You see them, but you never see like a
But
ton
it
of
was-
like.
Have you ever
it's
seen
just-
Jaws?
It's something I
Greg?
noticed.
The thing that
Count
got
how
me
long
was
before
like
you see
towards
Jaws.
the end, it's like all the monsters it was quiet. I'm thinking, you've got Godzilla coming through
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
city. It should be loud as hell.
Mhm.
You know, like when they were falling down
Sure.
and he was just looking around. I'm like, it's quiet. You've
Yeah.
got these, mutos around here, and they're all like, looking like long-legged roaches and just. Ugh.
We can talk about the movie, or are we gonna talk about the trailer first? What are we doing? Where are we?
Let's talk about the
Talking
movie,
about
and then
Godzilla or
we'll
the
talk about the
trailer?
movie and
We're
lead into the
both,
trailer.
damn it.
We'll end with the trailer.
All right. Okay.
So let's talk about
Sorry, Sarah. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We were kind of already doing.
No, you did. You meant it. Don't lie.
We'll continue then, Sarah.
No, I was just, we're just pointing out certain things. I was just like, that was just one thing that stood out to me too. I'm like, this is just too quiet.
Yeah.
And then Godzilla roared, so I was like, okay, that's better.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, like, what was it? They were keeping tabs on one, and they go down in like that vault, and they're like, "Where'd it go?" And then they go and look out this hole, and there's this giant trench coming out of the mountainside going through, and I'm like, "Really? Nobody noticed that shit?
How did nobody
noticed the
that
fucking
was like they didn't have
giant
any security measures on this whole nuclear facility.
Yeah,
yep,
but they've got a whole secret facility under Chernobyl, like back to running, or like what? Okay, like
yeah,
all right.
Okay, so we'll point out some things that bothers about this then, since we're kind of getting on that. Like I said, I like the movie, but there are a few things that bothered me. The guy who's the EOD, the main character,
Quicksilver.
That's who played Quicksilver.
Is that him for real?
In Ultron? Yeah.
Is it?
Really? I didn't know that.
That's
I was going to say that.
I just thought Quicksilver. I thought he was a smaller guy.
Yeah, that's Aaron Taylor. That's Aaron Taylor Johnson. He played Quicksilver, which means they did this movie where they were all lover, and tongue bath, and then the next movie they were twins.
Brother and sister.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you just joked when you said that earlier. That's crazy.
No,
I did notice that I got a lot of Elizabeth Olsen today. So
yeah,
but
ain't nothing wrong with that.
You're right.
No, definitely nothing wrong with that. But I lost my train of thought now, man. You just
sure. I know. Thinking about Elizabeth Olsen, I
get
it.
Pietro.
Thinking about Pietro. Yeah. Golly, what was I going to say?
I knew that guy looked familiar, but I couldn't place him.
I didn't place him for anything. I thought he was a good actor. I just couldn't
up there with Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. Like we just had some messed up people. He had his blue meth on him.
Okay, so as a soldier, okay, he's in civilian clothing. He walks onto a military facility where they're doing stuff and tells them, I'm Captain so-and-so, and this is this. A guy walking in formation, breaks formation, walks out and starts talking to him, buddies him, and invites him with him. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? That would never work.
That's great.
And somehow he finds a uniform with his name tag.
To military tactics.
Yeah, a uniform with his name tag while he's there. And he's able
to extenuating circumstances.
You don't think they have a seamstress there that can just fucking sew a name badge on there? Maybe. Come on, you were in the military. They have got a seamstress on standby with a fucking thimble on her thumb, ready to fucking just to knit your name on there.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe that part. And I was like, well, okay. I can look past that, I suppose. Maybe there's another part that bothered me. It stood out really big. One of them was the hole in the wall, like you were mentioning, Nathan. I was like, how does nobody notice this? Like, really, nobody noticed this. But other than that, there were just little things here and there. I did enjoy the movie, though. Let's talk about some of the scenes. Bryan Cranston, his role.
Fucking great.
Dude, that opening scene where you basically have to shut your wife out. Like, wow.
Oh, my wife cried.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I was like, she was like in the room watching. I said, "Oh no, you're gonna want to watch this part." She goes, "Why?" I was like, "Oh, it's a good part." And she sits down and she gets the whole part, and she's like teared up. She goes, "Why would you tell me to watch that?" I was like, "Because I knew you were gonna cry." She's like, "You're such an asshole."
My wife's like that too. We'll be watching something, like laying down in bed and watch something, and I'll see something that I know will, because it kind of tugs at my heart a little bit. I know that my wife cry.
Oh, it got me.
I'll just whip my head over her real quick, and she'll just stop it. You pick on me all the time. It's so fun. But yeah, the real tear-jerking scene, and I think what made it worse was the fact that he shut the door, and then they actually got there, and it's like, oh,
dude, that's what would happen. That would be like real life. That's what, that would happen. It's just like,
But I do love how you're right. It made me a little upset that it took so long to see Godzilla. But I do love the way they set it up, like, because I guess you did need that time, that storyline right there to kind of set this stuff up, and even 15-year flash forward,
They went a little too Jaws with this, because I do believe in Jaws, the whole thing was you didn't see the shark until it was like 50 minutes in. And I agree with you, Greg. Like, and they gave you a little piece, but like, if you think about it, like, just think of the little flashes you got before. They literally followed the Jaws model, where like you saw a fin, but in Godzilla's case, you saw 3 little fins, or you'd see a piece of a tail and stuff like I would have liked to saw more of him sooner, because I did like him. I like the scream. I like the roar.
Like this little smush mad face.
Yeah, I like the design. Which I did. Yeah, they
Like
did.
an
They did stretch his
dog.
face out in the second one, didn't they? Because the first one, I forgot how little smush faced he was, and I didn't even think of that until I saw it. And then King of Monsters, he must have had a growth spurt too, because the King of Monsters, his nose is a little bigger.
Well, he's only a few million years old.
Yeah. He was just like mad.
Well, they just kept dropping nukes on him and just powering him up. He had a power upgrade.
Yeah. That was one thing that kind of blew my mind when I was, because like I said, I'm not huge knowledge about these characters. I remember some of the movies when I was younger. I remember the Matthew Broderick was in that one?
Yeah, that was the 98 version.
Time ago.
Yeah,
I remember that
1998.
one. And after that one, I was just kind of like,
yeah.
I was in 8th grade then, so I think I may have been too cool for Godzilla then at that moment.
Whatever. I was the coolest.
I don't know.
I was the coolest, and I was all about Godzilla, so I don't know what you're talking
about. Yeah. Let's see some other scenes, some of the stuff in this movie.
Well, those Mutos were like they were crazy. That because you first saw the smaller one, which then you find out it's the male.
Mm-hmm.
You find out he can fly, and I'm like, they just look like flying roaches to me. Like roaches with these long. It's like, oh.
We did get a lot of looks at those things.
Yeah,
we saw them a lot.
That we did.
I was like, man, are we making a movie about the kaiju here, or is this like Godzilla's movie, or is he just cameoing in it? Because he kind of cameoed in it.
They look like those armored things that you from Avatar. They are not. They look like those things you fly on an Avatar, but armored. That's what I should say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, interesting story with them. I do love that Godzilla smacked one with his tail. against the building,
and that's how he takes that one out. Out of all the biting, the slamming, all this, all he has to do is just smack him one time with his tail, and he's done.
You ever been whipped by a very strong animal tail? Because that should take you out.
Well, how about when his tail powered up for the first time? He saw that blue, and it just goes straight down, and then finally he just like. Rah!
That was cool.
I love that. I love the power up. I really do. I think that's a nice touch to it. Like you said, the way it just sparks out. Yeah, I love the power up where you can see it building. It's not necessarily good in a battle where your enemy can be like, get out of the way. You know what I mean? Like you can see it crawling up his back, but it's still cool. It's still cool visually.
The way he takes out the last one at the end. Where he grabs dude,
he took that bitch out.
grabs dude's mouth and just straight misogynistic style starts spewing into his mouth, man.
That was the female.
Hey, this is definitely made before COVID times, guys. They should have definitely had masks.
There was no social distancing.
That would not have been allowed to be the finish if this was made in 2020.
Yeah.
Well, I think the smartest part or the smartest scene in that movie is when dude realized, okay, we have got to torch these eggs because if not, we about to have a bigger problem than these two.
You know, one of them eggs survived. When we get to the other stuff, as we progress through the other movies, you saw more things, and like there's other things. You know, some of them
one in this trailer we're gonna watch.
Monarch,
but still, the point is, you get the majority.
Yeah, you're right. Yes,
because there were a lot.
So
you walked over and you saw like the little sack or whatever. You're thinking, oh god, that's not
so
good.
can you imagine like if those are Godzilla would be overwhelmed and the whole planet's gone if all those hatch at once. You're right.
Well, that was my
question.
Go back
to the Stone Age.
Yeah.
She had a whole bunch of them, like in a bunch of different sacks, right? And they were filled with some kind of liquid, I'm assuming.
Like
and it was somehow hooked up. It was eggs, okay. It was somehow hooked up to some kind of drain that he could just open the drain up and drain the liquid.
No, what she did, she dug down. So she created kind of like a pit to lay her eggs. And then I guess where everything had fallen down, it was either a tanker truck or... I think it was a tanker truck because he just knocked it off and everything started spewing off.
Yeah,
it was either line one because she had like dug down.
Okay.
So and then that's why I was like, okay, but it just automatically just ignited like that. But okay, whatever. As long as it worked.
I'll have to go back and watch it again because that was a part I didn't understand either. I was like, it almost seemed like something was manufactured for her to lay eggs in, and he just went and switched a lever.
No, so because when you first see her, she gets to that one spot and she starts kind of doing this with her legs. She's like burying, like digging down to lay these eggs.
Spots for pods.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then I think everything.
You ever planted a seed, Greg, in a garden? Boop, you poke that little hole.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a turtle, like dig a little hole in there where they lay their eggs. So it's kind of the same difference there.
Okay.
Makes sense. Then of course when he lit those up, she's all like, "Oh!" And then the other dude's like, oh no. And then Godzilla's like, I'm gonna take y'all out. Snack.
Yeah. I thought it was crazy. The kid that he saved on the bus, you know, the little kid gets trapped in the bus away from his parents, and he's like, "Oh, I'll bring him back around." Just whatever. He gets the kid back to his parents, and then like, no, thank you, no acknowledgement, no nothing.
The kid at least did look back at him, but I mean,
thanks, buddy. Yeah, like I was like, oh my gosh, wow, ungrateful bitches. You know. I'm trying to think what else stood out in this movie. You know, like I said, I'm not the biggest Godzilla person, so I knew that he's you know, spewed blue fire stuff out of his mouth, and he was the king of the monsters. I remember some of the movies when I was younger. I don't remember much from the 1998 one, except for
it was dumb.
That great, yeah.
Fond of the cartoon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think more in this one. What are some other scenes in this? And there was some stuff that stood out. The ending scene. Like, you know, we talk about the scene with his wife at the beginning where he loses his wife. That and the scene where he loses his father, and then the scene where he gets back to his son and his wife at the end. It's all like, wow, really well done. Just kind of tugs at your heart a little bit. They did a good job of making you care about these characters.
Yes, to an extent, which is one of the complaints about the movie, is that it's a Godzilla movie and I gotta deal with these sucky fucking people. That's one of the complaints you see about it.
Lipstick on a pig here, man.
I get it. I get it.
I'm trying to think. I should have taken notes while I was watching this movie.
And of course, you know, everybody always, like the military always thinks like Godzilla's like the enemy. And it's like kind of find out, no, he's our friend. He's trying to help us out. And
that's the other thing. How do we, like, I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand how nobody else knows about this Godzilla except for that one guy.
That's what it always is.
I guess the military.
There's always one guy that knows.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was 1950. It wasn't like it was that long ago. It was 1950s. And second of all, how does he know that he's a friend? Like, I don't understand what makes Godzilla befriend us. Like, why does he want to protect people? And in doing so, why does he destroy all kinds of buildings and nobody blames him like they blame Batman? What's up with this?
Or they blame Superman.
Yes.
Because I was thinking like the whole Man of Steel through the whole thing. I'm like, they're just like knocking buildings and just going through it. And it's like.
Because it's a monster. And
they treat Godzilla like a big puppy, right? Talk. Yeah, he's like a big puppy.
It's not like Godzilla looked over and was like, fuck your building and throwing elbows in there. Like he's just a creature going and doing creature stuff. It's not like he's acting.
He's trying to keep the balance.
I'm squishing you.
Trying to keep balance.
Trying to keep the balance. Yeah, but you know, and I guess that's something that I'm sure somebody's going to correct me on or let me know later. I'm sure there's some kind of lore, some kind of story behind that I don't know. But it always seemed like whenever you hear people talk about Godzilla, you hear him talk about terrorizing cities. But then every time you see him on screen or I see him on screen, he's always the hero.
Did you hear the one where Godzilla, the Pope, and a priest walk into a bar?
Do we want to say it live?
I'm just kidding.
So you could tell me how to get off.
Well, how about when Godzilla, he's like finally pooped out and he just falls down. He just like lays right there and everybody's just kind of walking around like, you know, then dude moves and they're just like, nobody's like freaking out. I'd be freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. And he just kind of walks
Dickie,
out
right?
and just.
Yes. Greg knows it.
Flossie
Dickie. R.I.P. R.I.P. Flossie. Yeah. Yes. I'm glad somebody understood that. I feel like Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that was another thing that kind of surprised me too, is he gets through this fight and then you're right, he just kind of collapses. I was wondering why he did it at the beginning. I was like, he just won. Why did he collapse? You know, but he just kind of collapses.
He was tired. He was like
taking him a little nap. You know, before
plasma breath takes a lot out of him.
Before he stands up and like a sad Peter Griffin just kind of walks away with his head and his belly out and his arms hanging down. And
I imagine
one good time, and then
I imagine he probably felt he probably felt like an empty, like fully squeezed thing of toothpaste where he's just like, he's just done. He's just all empty. He just feels used up. He's got to go back and recharge. He's got to refract. There's got to be a refractory period.
50 years worth of fighting right there, stored up. So, yeah, it's gonna. Like I said, it was a good start to this franchise.
We all need refractory time.
Yeah, we all need to, kind of like pull back. Yeah.
Everybody refracts. Is that what you're saying?
Everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody. All right. Well, this is a great start to this franchise. Like I said, by no means like my favorite movie I've seen, but it was a good movie. Has its problems. All movies have their problems. I'll enjoy this story going forward and finding out. Does it stay with the same main characters, or is it a change of like?
You will have to wait and see what little Easter eggs and things you connect and see.
There's still Godzilla.
Well,
there's still Godzilla.
There you go. That's
the next one technically takes place in the past with Skull Island is what I meant to say.
Okay, that's the next one in the series is Kong.
Yes, it's technically a prequel, and then it's King of the Monsters.
Okay.
I don't know if I can watch that one again because that one just
There's
one scene in there, and I'm just like,
which one? Skull Island or King of Monsters? Which scene?
Skull Island.
Skull Island. Jack Black in it.
Oh no! Wait, yes. Is it Jack? Yes.
Jack Black, and then it's got
Loki. I know Loki and Captain Marvel are in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Huh. I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, it's
Skull
got a nice cast of characters and everything. And
Kong is king, and he bows to no one, and you find out why. It is a really good movie. Like I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it.
Okay.
I'll power through it again because I know my crowd will because they like watching that, and I'm just like that one.
Since I just discovered, I thought it was coming out in February. Now it's coming out in March. What we'll do is we were planning on doing the Monster series and then the Mighty Ducks series leading up to both of those movies, said shows. We'll just alternate them now. Next week we'll do Mighty Ducks.
We're watching Ducks.
Then we'll come back to Kong after this, huh?
We're watching Mighty Ducks.
We're going back to watch Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
We get to see an alcoholic who gets in so much trouble for his drinking stuff. His punishment by a judge is to go be in charge of kids, and he turns him into a fucking Olympic world-class hockey team.
Yep.
Yes.
So Travis gonna watch that one with us?
I don't know.
So this has got hockey.
No, actually, I know Travis good because he told me he loves those movies. Just
I knew it because it's all about hockey. Of course he does. That's like
So
porn to him.
sure
Him and his girlfriend have that on the background. That's how they get the juices flowing. They're like, oh yeah, turn on Mighty Ducks.
Got Mighty Ducks bed sheet.
Mighty Ducks and the Goon or whatever it is. Just every hockey movie ever made just on the background. It's just their constant hey baby.
I asked him if he's ever done the flying V during a hockey game.
Greg, too far.
No, well, yeah. He never responded. I don't know if he thought that I was being. I mean, I was kind of being a smart ass, but it was just a little joke. But I don't think that's possible in actual hockey. I don't think. We'll see. All right, we'll check it out. So we have the Godzilla versus Kong trailer. Let's go ahead and watch this so we know what we're looking forward to. What we're building up to. We started with Godzilla here. 2000. What is it called? Is it just Godzilla?
It's Godzilla. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. It's not Godzilla 2014.
It's Godzilla
2014. But yes, it's technically just. I call it Godzilla 2014 because there's 7 billion Godzillas.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to. Yeah.
And I heard a working theory that I'm glad you're going to pull the trailer because I want to look at it to see if it'll go. But there's a theory that I'll bring up at the end of us watching the trailer to see what you guys think.
Okay. All right,
I don't know. It might be out. Like I said, I need to see the trailer again to see if I could go with that. But it's plausible.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Here we go. No sound. We'll just talk. So let me see. Y'all see it?
Mm-hmm.
I can see you wait and press play.
All right, let's press play. Explosions.
This will be like the 15th time I've seen it.
People running.
All right.
Hella choppers.
There's Kong, and I'm interested to see why they have him on a boat, which I'm sure it's going to be explained at the end of the next movie, or the next little bit of movies I've got to speak with. All right, Bucky, be quiet. All right. So Big Kong.
Ginormous Kong.
That is one ginormous Kong.
We got Eric from True Blood there, the gay vampire, or whatever. We got all these people from these franchises.
Mm-hmm. All coming together, baby. All right, so there's obviously going to be a little bit of backstory into this one too. So I guess you do need to watch the rest of the movies to get where you're going with this.
Well, supposedly this little she's the only one that can communicate with him. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they find that out at just the right time, right?
Okay, here's where I need to start watching.
That was the other question I wanted to ask you because Godzilla just did it here. How come sometimes he swims under boats that have main characters on them, but
I think he's specifically seeking out Kong here. Like he's heat seeking Kong. He is coming for Kong.
I've heard another theory though. I've heard another theory.
That's awesome. That's an
like
awesome
at some
scene
point
right there.
This could be not necessarily Godzilla, it could be Mecha.
That's what I was gonna say. That's my theory, that this could be Mecha Godzilla that the government's created. And
what
government coming out there to get your King Kong.
What's a mecha?
Mecha Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the robotic Godzilla that the government builds. See, and that's what I went. Rewind to that power blast. Rewind to his power blast real quick.
See how he's
where
doing with the
Godzilla
hook?
powers up and blasts.
All right, it's coming. I like to watch that right hook right there again. It's gonna be
Go
an
back
awesome
to
looking
I
fight.
want to see
There's
where,
something
where
I
it
don't
powers
see
up.
how
That right
this-
there?
Yeah.
No, hang on. Well, yeah, let it go. Okay, see, yeah, I was just wondering. I wanted to
But
see if
right
that was
here,
different.
the next one.
Yeah.
See, does that
see
come
his
from the
little-
top or from the end?
Talking about the
I
back
don't
fins
know.
powered up?
I don't know.
Mhm.
See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is like, because that's what I'm looking for too. Is he power up the same way? Because what if it is Mecha Godzilla? Because that would be, and then that's
Now
why
there
Kong
is
and
a
the
connection. There is a connection in this trailer from King of Monsters. There
What
is a
is it?
connection, and there's
What
one
is it?
character that's a connection.
That
Did you see her?
person,
Mm-hmm.
the
Her?
Uh-huh.
Millie Bobby Brown, yeah,
Mhm.
Mill Dog.
Mill dog.
Because
I
I
love it.
think she's one that can communicate with Godzilla, whereas this other little girl supposedly
She had
can.
the.
can talk
yeah,
to
Greg
Kong.
hasn't seen it yet, but she's got the little box from her mom. Remember, that's how they make the little.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Greg, you need to watch King of Monsters.
I'm planning
Yeah,
on
need
so
to
watch,
watch all of
watch
them.
Skull Island,
Yeah,
then
Skull
watch
Island
King of
and
Monsters.
King of Monsters.
Yeah,
They're both
because
good.
I think what they're going to do with Godzilla versus Kong is it's going to bring it together.
Mhm.
But I just feel like I think there's another big bad. I don't think it's
There
gonna
is.
be.
It's not just these two knockdown drag out. It's not Kong.
I think
the good
they're
guy,
gonna-
and all of a sudden
Who was
Zilla
he
the
fighting
bad
that he
guy.
was slinging around? There's the one scene where he's slinging. There's one flying little stingray looking creature that's flying around. He's got another one by the tail and he slings it around into the side of the mountain.
Well, if you see at the end of King of Monsters, you'll know that there's a possibility. You need to watch the other two movies, then we can reconvene on this conversation.
Yes.
Because I mean, we could tell
Yes.
you stuff, but it's going to kind of spoil things. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Dude,
Just
you know
just
me.
watch.
I'm like a goldfish, man. I won't remember you told
Yeah,
me
he
that.
won't
I'll
remember.
probably
But
forget that I have to
still,
watch
I mean,
it.
it's. I want to watch them again because I think I've
Right.
only seen King of Monsters like once, so I want to see that one again too.
Right.
Well, we're definitely going to be covering it here, and you know this, the new Godzilla movies, Godzilla versus Kong, is going to be coming out on HBO Max same day.
It's gonna be theater. It's
streaming.
gonna be a theatrical release and the streaming.
That's
so that's one of
exactly,
the both.
Mhm.
Because
So
I have a
are
feeling
you-
I'm probably gonna see that one in the theater. 'cause
I was
know
going to
my
ask you, are
crowd.
you going to venture to the theaters?
Yeah,
Okay.
we saw the new Crude movie last weekend.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's
This
good
would be a
one. If
cool
you-
movie to see in theaters, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
You
That's
know,
one
if
of
I
those
could get
movies
this in the theater,
where.
it'd be really cool to see in theaters.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might make a trip out there, depending on how things are looking. So,
Yeah, just double mask. It'd be fine.
you see it in theater, or you just watch it at home?
Well, I don't know. We'll probably see it in the theater first. Noah and Brian will probably see it in the theater first.
Okay.
Because he really, really, really wants to see that. And then we'll watch it at home a few times.
Okay. What about you?
Couching it. Couching it.
Yeah, that's what I'll probably end up doing too, just because I have the ability to couch it. You know, so might as well.
But like I said, we have a cool theater and we feel, I feel
Right.
safe in that
Sure.
theater. So, I mean,
Sure.
if it was anywhere else, probably not. But
I get it. I'm not opposed to going, but I just I don't think I'll be able to make one. It's just so much easier if I could just sit on my. If I could just come home
It's
from work
true.
and sit on my couch and be like, oh yeah, this is. So
I mean, it's
nice."
true. It's just like even watching this, watching this version, it was like, I mean, it was still cool, but then it's like, man, if you like to see it for the first time, and I don't know if we saw it in the theater the first time. I can't remember
Mhm.
because I saw it when I saw it, I'm like, this looks familiar. I've seen this before, and I don't know if it was at the house or.
Oh, I remember going to the theater to see it.
But
Can't say I did. You know, once again, this is the first time watching it here. I enjoyed it, but
I remember it was a big deal because everybody wanted to know what the roar was going to sound like. Like, what's Godzilla's new roar going to sound like?
and you only get it one time. It did sound good though.
It sounds good, don't
It
it?
sounds real good. Yeah.
his little smushy face.
Little smushy face.
Little smushy face. He all mad looking.
Y'all, that's all I got. Short show tonight, you know. We're still an hour and a half. We wrote through there. But yeah, we got more WandaVision coming. We got some monsters coming. We got some Mighty Ducks coming. We got some Batwoman coming. We got
It's a
Justice
lot.
League.
I'll see if I can try to catch up
Superman
on some
and
Batwoman.
Lois.
So
Jesus.
Oh man, we got a ton of stuff coming up soon, and a lot to cover. But we're gonna try to keep up with it every week.
But I'm really excited for WandaVision. I'm really, really.
Now it's
impressed
picking
with
up.
that
Now
one.
I'm ready.
This
Like I
week's
said,
episode-
Mhm.
episode 4 was the episode that I said, yep, now I'm in. Like, this is Now I want. Let's go. Like I'm.
So this is like your Doom Patrol. That's the way Doom Patrol was for me.
Sure.
It's like
Well,
your Doom
I liked
Patrol.
it from the very first. I mean, I thought it was interesting.
You would. No.
Of course I would, and I'm not gonna. And I admit it. Yes. It was nice and wholesome, you know, compared to the majority of those stuff we watched lately. So
I'm not gonna
it was
lie.
kind of nice.
Not wholesome.
My wife watched the first 2 episodes. I bet you if I got her to, I'd get her to watch the third one. When I got to the fourth, she might start to fall off it because she likes those kind. I mean, I do too. You know, I grew up watching those kind of shows too. You know, Dick Van Dyke and I Love Lucy and all that stuff too. So she loves watching that kind of stuff. So I think the first 2 episodes really got her in there.
I just think it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting way to get your, you know, instead of jumping into something, you know, like a lot of series do, it's kind of pique your interest. You know, you're sitting there like, what is going on? And then, but then, you know, you come back because then you're like, okay, it's got to go this way. And it does. And it's turning into what I had pretty much.
Sarah wants to be wined and dined is what she's saying.
And
exactly. us guys, we just want to get right in there. We're just.
I know.
Let's just get right in
Y'all
there.
just
let's
like just
meat and potatoes.
Yes, exactly. Let's have a little bit of something. I mean, really. But anyways, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. So.
What did they say? That's
gonna be a good series.
No. It's gonna be good. It's gonna. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, this is where I'm definitely in. This one piqued my interest, and I will probably be watching it for a second time. And I'll admit, the first 3 haven't went back for a second. But I'll probably rewatch this episode just because it was a good episode. Like I liked. Like I said, it was a lot of world building because it was our first experience of seeing people come back from what they called the blip, you know, the snap or whatever, and just seeing how corrupted people's lives were. Because we heard kind of mention of it in Far From Home, but they didn't really dwell on it. They just kind of you know put a little hit and went right past it. So this was like
rightfully
first,
so.
But it's cool seeing the opposite too, because you know you see it when they poof, and now you see when they come back together. So they're just it's just. I always thought about that too. I was like, did they just
I thought that was a really nice touch, nice world building. And like I said, I did like seeing Darcy come out of just the Thor. I like that cross pollination. So now you got a Thor character and an Ant-Man character, and technically a Captain Marvel character crossing over with you know, with
kind of like the main Avengers,
level, like an Avenger thing, but it's not in a difference. So I'm all for it. I'm really liking it.
It's good writing.
So far, like I said,
it's kind of like the way Shield was. It's kind of like the way Shield was, but you really didn't get a whole lot of, you know, some of that, you know, recognizable
more
ones.
Background.
Yeah,
I want more background on that because, like I said, if this is only going to be like oh no, we've been around since Monica's mom, you know, formed us, but we've been hiding in plain sight too. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? So like I don't know, like you know what I mean? Because what's next is like the X-Men have been here the whole time, but we was hiding. Like it's just gonna be everybody was hiding.
They know
everybody was hiding and didn't do anything.
No, they can't do that.
And another thing I thought was really cool when they started putting the pictures of all the other people that are the characters. So it's like, are they like just?
Oh, she's taking over that town. Those were people.
So she was. Those were people of the town.
Yes,
and she came
over and took them over to play parts in her weird fucking TV sitcom
where did
life.
And they somewhat know about it.
Those cops are still kind of weird. They're like, no Westview. Where are y'all from? We're from Eastview.
Oh, she's got like a hex on them.
Okay.
And I like how Jimmy Woo, like, why is everything in a hexagon? Like, you know what I mean? And her powers are technically called hex magic, you know, like hex magic, or she does chaos magic, like hex magic. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was a nice touch.
Like the guy that came out of the manhole. Why did he automatically turn into like a bee?
I think he had to have something that made sense in the universe.
Me too, because that's why the drone turned into that helicopter, that old school helicopter. It just formed, just like when Monica went in there, she transformed into Geraldine and the old timey. She wore the old timey look, styled her hair the old way. Like it forces you to live in this reality.
So like a hazmat suit translates into like a beekeeper suit.
Yes, but it also the hexagon and the beekeeper suit is also like AIM, like, and
it's like that shape.
Tyler said Tyler said something like walking through when he was taking Monica through that, like these think tank, like when they were putting the world back together and how he got appointed. So AIM could still be a possibility, but I don't know.
I like how we went all the way back around to WandaVision. Now we even talk about
WandaVision. It's cool. I mean,
it is cool. Hey,
you think about things after the fact.
Yeah.
We just followed those little squirrels.
for me, this is the first episode I really felt like I could sink my teeth into. I really felt
Okay.
like this was the episode. Like I said, I'm gonna rewatch this episode specifically. I don't just me personally. I don't need the other three, but I'm gonna start from here.
Yeah, I get that. And that's honestly, that's the way I'm with Doom Patrol. When I did my second rewatch, I started with the 5th episode. The first 4 were just for me. So and loved it. But all right, y'all. Like I said, that's all I got for tonight. Y'all ready to get out of here? Take that as a yes.
I guess.
Sarah, where can they find you at?
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at My Little Kitten. I kind of bounce around. I'm just hang out. I like to hang out here on Friday nights with SCS, and sometimes you can find me. Well, right now I'm just kind of mad with the Panthers right now. I don't really want to talk to them until next season. So
Until we signed Deshaun Watson.
yeah, I don't want to talk to them. I can't talk to them right now. I just can't talk to them right now. So that's why I've been MIA. I just can't talk to them. But yeah, and speaking of Star Wars, I've almost finished the Throne. What is the Ascendancy in the Chaos? So I've been liking that one. So maybe I can finally get into the newest. Was it Light of the Jedi? Is that what it is?
I started that the other day and I had to stop it because I want to sit down and focus on it. Do you see Nathan whenever you started talking about Throne Ascendancy? He was like, He got all, oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Throne's my man now. He's my boy. Yeah. I really like the Throne book. I finished that one, so now I'm like finishing.
Well, I missed Star Wars. I had a miscommunication because Katie said that she wanted to do this interview with this author about like this kind of like love lesson she learned from Star Wars. So that wasn't this. All right, guys, it's all a peek behind the curtain. So it wasn't really my thing. So like I thought that was going to be the show that week, and then she tells me that, like she's waiting, and I didn't know she had Taylor. Anyway, they talked about the rest of the book. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I did enjoy the book, but man, there was some heavy-handed gobbledygook at the back of it that really just, I don't know, shriveled my pickle, soured me, whatever you want to call it. Like I
don't know. I might have to invest in the rest.
There's some good. It did do a good setup. Like it left enough of a foundation, or built enough of a foundation that I'm interested to see what happens next. But like just this. It just went on and on with this garbage in the back, and like I don't know, I'm a certain kind of person. I don't even get me started that I'm gonna have that there's just so much nonsense with the fucking people and employees and writers and stuff with Star Wars and fans. It's not just them, but like I just don't know how much I can invest in this this High Republic era with the keep garbage I keep seeing on both sides of the fence. Let's to make that clear with fans and with the employees and writers, because man, I don't even want to get into a topic of that thing, but there are some real fucking ignorant people that don't think that that you're an ist if you classify it against one certain color. But I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole fucking thing, but there's some real ignorant shit going on both sides, mind you, with the fans and the writers. And with the kind of heavy-handed shit in there, it all hits me like a ton of bricks, where I might have to put this down for a while and come back to it after all the nonsense blows over. But
I'm obsessed with Throne.
I mean?
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm obsessed with Throne.
Yeah, me too.
And I want to read
great.
more.
I love those books. So yeah, those 4 books.
That has come a long way, because the only time I was introduced to him was in Rebels. Yes. And I remember telling you, I was like, Throne, you're like, not Grand Admiral. You can't talk shit about him. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, now I can't. Now I totally understand where you're coming from.
That is
exactly.
I love him.
Exactly.
We got sidetracked again. Nathan, where can they find you?
Sorry. You can find me here on Friday nights in the chat room. Greg, when he decides to pay attention and talk to people, will talk for me, or you can send an email to one of the accounts and it'll get to me. Or you can find me. Katie and I have been recording live Sunday mornings for Star Wars Alliance. I'm not sure if we're going to go back to a Wednesday afternoon meeting, but you can find me in the chat room there. And other than that, I'll see you guys whenever we do the show.
Yeah.
He's just waiting for the Patreon only thing, so then you can see a lot more of them.
OnlyFans. Yeah, we're going to OnlyFans, and then come talk to me. So you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you can find me at the BatDaddy52 on Twitter. It's my personal handle. I'll talk to you about just about anything. Hit me up on Super Civil Servants Podcast, Superhero Discussions Podcast, DC Alliance Podcast. that's all for this network. And then I also do C3 Panthers podcast live on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Check me out. Actually, every show I do is live except for superhero discussions.
So. Hey, Greg, does Brady still suck?
Yes, I still don't like him.
Really?
No, look, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I like him. He's garbage.
Because
in my mind, he's garbage.
I mean, if he went to he was like, you know what? Everybody said this because I'm on the Patriots. We cheat shit. He went to a whole other team and was like, you know what? I'm still the greatest.
That's what he says. If I can't go to an AFC if I can't go to an AFC title game, I go to an NFC title game.
And all these other guys, look, everybody's jumping up now. I just marked a whole other one. Oh God damn it, he sucks. All right, he might not like it, but he can't say he's not talented because he doesn't prove himself over and over again.
Just like LeBron James.
I just wanted to poke the pride. Yeah, I just wanted to poke the pride a little bit. Just
Hey. Good stuff, man. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. We may even talk about some Super Bowl stuff in one show. If we don't have to talk about, so it's a good idea.
We gotta have like a Super Bowl preview or something. Right. I'm telling you, it's gonna be.
Sarah, I'll hit you up Sunday. We'll do some live Pro Bowl virtual coverage.
Yes.
Pro Bowl weekend.
Pretty much. What was it like? The year that Brady was drafted? Was that how old was Mahomes? Like 6,
7 or 8, I think. Yeah,
that was like
wasn't very old.
Teeny tiny.
Yeah.
So it was, I'm like, I'll give him credit. 43 years old, he's still slinging it, and I'm like,
if he wins the Super Bowl, he'll be the only one to win a Super Bowl in, count them, 3 different fucking decades, because that's how good this motherfucker is. And like, I'm just saying, guys, if he does it, I think Mahomes though is a force to be reckoned with. That kid is. Boy, he's a monster. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
They gave him $500 million.
He's got a cannon. I will give it to him. Like, I think it's going to be a good one.
I'll tell you one thing: if Kansas City's defense crawls all over them, like all over Tampa Bay, like they did,
Bills might be different. Antonio Brown. I hate that dude, but whatever.
Yeah,
he's just an a-hole.
And both those guys, him and Le'Veon.
They're going to win tight. Well, so is what's his name? Who's the running back for? No, it's not Le'Veon for he was for Pittsburgh. I'm talking about the one that's for Fournette that's running for him right now. He's a jerk too, and they're both going to win Super Bowls. Antonio Brown and Fournette.
Look at me talking sports ball. Travis is going to fall behind. 57 right now. He's just falling over.
Yeah. Extend the show out talking sports too. I love it. Bringing football to super civil servants. I'm down. So let's do it.
Yeah, Nathan, you kind of forget a little bit. I did. I got a little NFC spunk.
Yeah, I know. You didn't start talking basketball. I could really get going then, but
nobody likes that.
That ain't
y'all, I'm getting out of here. Gotta edit this.
Nobody likes that shit. The only thing worse is chick hoops. I'm just saying.
That's
WNBA gets no ratings.
At Wobbly Boots 85.
Right.
I'll give you his email address. Hit me up.
Send me the email.
Sure. That's right. So I'll forward the email to him.
Oh my gosh, Nathan! Whenever you come back, your DMs are probably gonna be like ridiculous.
just no WNBA. Just
Nathan's gonna come back as Wobbly Boots 86. That'd be the smart thing to do. Come back as 85 2.0. You know. That'd be a smart way to come back. But all right, y'all. I'm getting out of here. Thank y'all so much. It's been a great night.
As a feminist, I love all of you.